I got on one knee in the fucking snow and said, will you marry me? And I was stressed.
My plan is ruined. I can just picture you now having a meltdown.
I'm sitting there going, I will say the ring industry needs a fucking shake-up because shopping as two men for an engagement ring was one of the most painful things ever.
Fucking love a risotto too.
Shit, how good's risotto?
Yeah,
oh
so
my
good.
God.
I've never made it, have you? Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Brittney.
Now, this is a very exciting day today.
Yeah. Why? Why? I would have no idea why.
Well, I've gone back to dancing.
Yeah.
I've put blonde foils in my hair.
Yeah, so exciting.
I've been to China.
Yeah.
What else have I done?
What the fuck are you doing over there? Google girls in the corner with a Hungry Jack's wrap.
Rustling in the fucking
like
case.
this isn't one of the biggest episodes we've ever done in our entire existence of High Scrollers. I love it.
What else? I don't know. Oh, didn't you you got engaged or something as well?
Yeah. You know, I'm looking at my hand here and I don't have a ring and I feel I should. But, yeah, why is it awkward to talk about? I got engaged, scrollers. I'm engaged. I'm a fiance.
Play the wedding song, whatever that sound effect is that someone's going to edit into this. You're engaged. Well, you proposed to Sky.
Yeah.
And we're here with an exclusive on the pod.
Oh, my God.
You're going to tell us all about it because also you obviously messaged Kate and I when you're away, but that's all we heard. Like you didn't tell us anything. So I am also hearing about this for the first time on the pod.
I know, and there's so much to say.
I want to hear how it all went down, what happened. And we're recording this obviously one day before it comes out, but you're posting it on social media like
tonight.
Yeah. So by the time this comes out,
everyone should know by now. If not, you can go and see the post. I'll be probably posting on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the whole thing. Actually, everyone go to Facebook because, as you know, that one makes me the most money.
Yeah, go like and comment.
Yeah, go
on
like
Facebook,
and comment on Facebook, please. But got to get some reimbursement of the ring back. Actually, fucking hell, what a journey! Like I don't know, I don't even know how to.
Well, how about I'll interview you?
Yeah, you interview me.
Okay.
Well, I will start with the ring itself, right? Because let me tell you, this was a long process as two men trying to get engaged.
So you shop for the ring together.
Well, originally I tried shopping by myself.
Yeah.
But I will say the ring industry needs a fucking shake-up because shopping as two men for an engagement ring was one of the most painful things ever. Not only by myself, but then when I got him involved in it.
Yeah.
And so basically the thing is he wanted quite a masculine ring. Well, men don't get engagement rings, do they? So trying
true.
to find a masculine engagement ring, and he wanted some diamonds in it and whatnot and all the rest of it. And unfortunately, you know, that like very typical engagement ring shape of like a diamond with a thin band, he didn't want that. It was too feminine and he was like, I don't want that, but whatever. So we had spoken years ago about what he wanted. So I knew in my mind what he wanted. And so I went trying to find that for myself, by myself. And it was just so difficult. I felt like a lot of the people who I was dealing with didn't understand that, didn't understand what I wanted, didn't understand that he didn't, I'm giving it to a man, so I need like a masculine ring, and they just seemed baffled by that. It was a really bizarre thing. So
I think it would be more common in fucking 2026.
Right. And I even looked at some of the, you know, I looked up like LGBTQIA plus friendly jewelers or people who specify in that. But then unfortunately it was just the ones that I found were a little tacky or not quite our style or anything like that.
I didn't want a rainbow one.
Yeah, basically. Like literally though, like rainbow diamonds. And I was going, no.
Not Sky.
So then I decided to start looking at people who could just design a ring for me from scratch. And I was also struggling with that. And then it came down to like what size he was and all the rest of that. I went, this is too hard. Let me just get him involved in the whole thing. So we did a day in Sydney where we went to a whole bunch of stuff. He really liked a ring from Cartier. And so we went and tried that on, but then when he had it on, he was like, no. And then we went to this jeweler, and he was able to kind of like find exactly what he wanted. And I was like, great, awesome. And they wrote down all the details for us, and I was like, yep, great, awesome. Then I randomly got that opportunity to go to London for Wicked, and he went to Canada for a little bit last year to see family. And then we got back and we were hosting Christmas, so Christmas was upon us and all the rest of it. Well, I went down to the jewelers, and I bought the whole thing and got it all sorted, and that was on like the 2nd of December. And then they were like, yeah, it should be like 2 weeks, and I was like, okay. So then I didn't hear from them 2 weeks later, and I thought, oh well, you know, it's only just been 2 weeks, I'll give it another couple days. Hadn't heard from them, and then I thought, oh well, it's Christmas time, so everyone's probably getting, you know, Christmas jewelry made, and everyone, like a lot of people propose at Christmas. So I was like, okay, well maybe they've got a big influx, and so I'll give it another week. Well, another week came, and then it was the week of Christmas, and I was just too busy. And Sky said to me, babe, I think we should just wait until we get back from Canada to like sort out the ring. Because like we're just too busy and it's coming around so fast. And I said, yeah, babe, that's that's
good.
That suits me fine.
But that's good if he said that.
Exactly.
Because then it's thrown him off.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, it's all good. Yeah, nah, I would actually prefer that as well, even though 3 weeks ago I'd bought the bloody thing. And then Christmas happened, all the rest of it, and then New Year's happened, all the rest of it, and then it was almost time to go to Canada. And I'm going, where's this bloody ring? It's been over a month now. So I rang the place and I was like, hi, I just am looking, like I bought a ring and I just haven't heard anything. So, you know, and she goes, oh, I'm going to have to call you back. We leave in 4 days. And I'm like, what's gone wrong? Like, they've forgotten about the ring. So she hangs up and I'm like sitting there. Now I'm panicking and I'm like, this ring hasn't been made. Like, everything's all not going to be going to plan. So I was stressed.
My plan is ruined. I can just picture you now having a meltdown.
I'm sitting there going,
but you can't say anything.
No. And so then she calls me back 5 minutes later. She goes, oh, Matthew, your ring's been here since the 8th of December. So like 6 days after I ordered it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she goes, is this your number? And she reads out a phone number. And I said, no, that's not my number. I have no idea whose number she had. It was like so different. It wasn't even similar to mine.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. It's actually been here. And I was like, oh, I wish I knew, because it was just everything. We were leaving in 4 days. I had so much to do. Everything was so crazy. Anyway, so then I went back in and I picked it up and it was perfect. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like exactly what he wanted. It's stunning. I love it. And so then I took it with me. Now, the plan was, and I actually told him this years ago, because the reason that we did our bucket list, as you all know, and I've said many times, is because in 2023 we lost a lot of people around us. A lot of people died, including his mum. And his mum wanted to see the Northern Lights in Canada, and we planned to go with her, but then unfortunately she passed away. And so we said to each other when she passed away, like, we will do that for her and go to the Northern Lights to complete that little bit of her bucket list. And also we're going to write our bucket list and make sure that we get everything done, because life is short and you never know what's going to happen. And so that's why we've, you know, hustled to get the bucket list done, and we've gone on all these trips and everything, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, today. You never know what's going to happen this afternoon. So if you want to do these things, you got to get your act together and do it. And we've been very lucky to be able to, you know, tick everything off. And so I actually told him not long after his mum passed away that the plan was to propose to him at the Northern Lights with his mum, because we were going to go on that trip. And his mum was just the most amazing woman. And, you know, like, I mean, we're in 2026 and I feel like the days of maybe asking permission and things of a parent is like,
is that a thing
anymore?
Well,
I think for some people it definitely is. I think it depends on the dynamic of the family.
Yeah.
Like, I think some dads would very much expect that.
Yeah.
And others wouldn't care. And I think it also depends on your relationship. How involved with that family are you? You know, like, I can imagine if, for example, the rest of your family lives on the other side of the world. Maybe you've met them twice. Why are you bothering to ask permission? There's all sorts of, every relationship is different. Anyway, so my whole thing, my whole life was, I'm never going to ask permission. Like, that's just my thing to anyone. I'm like, it's our relationship, whoever I marry.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask someone permission.
It's very old school tradition, isn't it? Yeah.
So I've never been about that. But I will say, if his mum was still with us, I absolutely would have asked her, because she was just such an amazing woman. And I had so much respect for her and still do to this day. And so he knew a few years ago that was the original plan. So that was still the plan. I planned to see the Northern Lights in
Matt,
Canada.
Can I just cut in here? Mm-hmm. I had no idea that you could see the Northern Lights in Canada.
Yes. So this is a huge thing that
I thought you had to go to like Europe.
Yeah. So everyone says this, but the thing is, you're seeing the same lights just from a different country.
But that's wild to me. Like, when you said that and you're like, yeah, in Canada, the Northern Lights. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I Googled it and I didn't realize you can see the Northern Lights from multiple countries.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like above like one little spot.
But you know, when you see the Southern Lights here, you're not seeing the same lights, but you're seeing the same phenomenon of the sun shining through.
But I just thought for some reason that to go see the Northern Lights was like somewhere over in Europe.
Very Nordic, you know.
Yeah, and it was just in this one spot that you could see them. I didn't realise it's many countries can see them.
Yeah, but they see them differently, obviously.
Yes.
Like I'm sure there are different kind of patterns and things that happen. But yeah, Yellowknife in Canada, you can see it through almost all of Canada. We were lucky enough to see it in Whistler, which is like the first, which they haven't seen the Northern Lights in like 2 years. And it was like this huge, cool. When we were there, this huge geomagnetic kind of storm happened just by coincidence. And we actually saw it in Whistler. And I was like, okay, well, this has ruined my plan, because we're not in Yellowknife to see the Northern Lights for another 4 or 5 days. And now we've bloody seen them from the balcony of our hotel in Whistler. So that's good. Because the whole point was we were going to see them and I was going to do it to be like, here we are and whatever. Anyway, then we go to Yellowknife. Well, the first day is a travel day, and I thought we were there for 3 nights in total, because if you go for 3 nights, you have a 95% chance of seeing them, because cloud cover, it might just not be the right time. If it's a full moon, it restricts how much you can see. You need to be out of the city. Obviously, city lights affect how much you can see in the sky. So there's all these like factors that come into play. So we had 3 nights there. The first night and the second night, we had tours booked. So the first day is a travel day. So we're rotten because we've flown. We've got up early in the morning. We've landed. It's like minus 42 degrees. So it is just hell. Like it's awful. We're adjusting to it. The vibes aren't right is what I'm saying. But I knew that might be the case. So I was going to use the first night tour to suss the vibes. And then the second night tour is when we do it. Because with the tours, because it's so cold, your phones don't work and things like that. So they actually have a professional photographer on the tour with you. And I'm like, this is perfect. I get the Instagram picture and all. We can have a professional photo hung up on the wall at home, all the rest of it. You know, like, we get a professional photo, because the thing is as well, obviously it's the middle of the night, so I can't take a photo on my phone and set up a self timer or anything, because to the naked eye you can obviously see them really well, but in a phone, like, it does something funny.
It doesn't do it justice.
You got to use that setting, that annoying setting that always turns on where it takes it for 3 seconds.
It's like hold for 3 seconds.
Oh, hate that when it's on, but for the Northern Lights, it's crucial that you use that. So there were all these little things. Anyway, the first night I was like, I need to suss the vibes. Well, the biggest thing is, how the hell am I taking my hands out of my gloves to open the box?
True.
And how is he taking off his gloves to put the ring on? Because it is I think it was minus 35 that first night.
That is fucking wild to me, Matt. When it is like 15 here, I'm freezing.
And you saw the video I made with all the layers. Like, a lot of people were like, I'm Canadian and we don't do this. Okay, yeah, you're from Vancouver, where the lowest it gets is like minus 7. 7 degrees. Like, when we were in Vancouver, it was like 7 degrees. It's minus 35. The weather app says feels like minus 42. First of all, we're not in the city. To see the Northern Lights, you get on a bus and you go 45 minutes out to the middle of nowhere. You literally stand on a frozen lake and you look up at the sky. No heat, no nothing, just you and the elements. It's wild. And for like 4 hours. If anyone's ever worked at McDonald's or a fast food restaurant and done a truck shift where you like have to stand in the freezer, times that by 10. because it
I
is.
used to hate going into the freezer at Macca's.
It's harrowing.
Yeah.
But like imagine that and then times it by 10. Like it's so
Yeah.
much worse. So the first night I'm looking around, I'm sussing the vibes. I'm like, the vibes are kind of like not as good as I would like to, but I think this is still, it could happen. So then we have the second night.
So wait, do you have to ring in your pocket this whole time?
Yeah. So
Lucky I had like big pants on.
no, well, it was in my jacket, in the
Okay.
chest of my jacket, because the box was kind of big, and every time I put it in my pants, it was very obvious.
Okay.
So the second night, I'm like, okay, well, let's go for a nice dinner first, and then maybe I can do it at the restaurant, and then we can go and have a nice night, and then we can fake the photo at the, with the professional photographer on the tour.
Question.
Yeah.
Did he think it was going to happen?
Well, I'll get there, Xander. Can you let me fucking tell the story? I'll get there. So we go down to the restaurant in the hotel. So Yellowknife, for context, is this really small town.
Why does Yellowknife kind of sound like a show? Like
Yellowstone, Yellow Jackets.
There would be a show based on Yellowknife.
Yeah, there might be.
It just sounds like a place that would have a show based there.
And so we go to the hotel downstairs at the restaurant because there's nothing in the town, basically. Like, it's very small, and you also don't want to leave the hotel unless you have to. So I'm like, let's go to the hotel restaurant. It's quite nice. We go downstairs. We stand at the little, concierge to be seated. And I'm not even kidding you, we're there for at least 15, 20 minutes, and no one has come and said like hello or anything. And there's waiters walking past and just looking at us and kept walking. And I was like, well, this isn't very good. Let's go to the second place in the hotel that has food. But that was like a sports bar. And I walked over and I was like, no, I'm not proposing here. This is not right. It was like a bar that was serving like chicken wings and burgers. And I was like, no. So we went back to the restaurant. Another 20 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm looking at the time going, we're going to have to leave soon. Like, we're going to have to get in there, and this is not right. So then finally someone comes over. We sit down and I just look around and I'm like, not the vibe. We've got a table full of kids on their iPads watching Bluey at full blast. We got a table next to us of like drunk girls who are like, and then fuck you, bitch. And I was
Wait, are Canadians loud like Americans?
No.
Okay.
I think they were Australian, the girls next to us, yeah, or New Zealand maybe. But everyone around us was like, I was like, it can't happen here. So then I'm like, let's just wait and we'll get the food and we'll just see, because, people were starting to clear out. And I was like, let's just see, because the tours start at like 10 p.m. So we were eating around 9 o'clock at this point. So the table was just starting to move out. I thought, let's just see if it gets a bit quiet in here. Maybe it'll be a private moment by the time our food comes. So I ordered a risotto, which I love a risotto.
I fucking love a risotto too.
Shit, how good's risotto?
Yeah,
oh
so
my
good.
God.
I've never made it. Have you?
Yeah, I made it once and it was lit, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I got a risotto. I'm not even kidding you. They had steamed a packet of rice and a packet of veggies. McCain, you've done it again. Veggies in a bag, rice in a bag, in the microwave, in a dish, Parmesan cheese on top. Done.
It was good.
It was fucking shit. It was the worst. It wasn't even risotto. I would call it rice and vegetables with a bit of cheese.
Okay.
It was bizarre. I went, how do you fuck up a risotto this badly? It was the worst meal I've ever had at a restaurant in my entire life. Hands down, no word of a lie, the worst meal I've ever had. And I forget what he got, but he said the exact same thing. He went, what the fuck is this food?
And this is just a hotel restaurant.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's all right. How about I change my strategy here? And I think to myself, how about we just say, like, if I'm going to do it now, how about it's more of a like, you know what? Everything around us is fucking crazy and shit. And what the fuck is going on? But, we have each other. Because this meal, the waiting 40 minutes, the cold, the people around us, I went, look at all this chaos. But, it's you and me. Is the vibe I was going for. So then I thought, let's get dessert. So we can do it over dessert. And we went, we'll get the chocolate cake.
So wait, have you already said this to...
No.
This is in your mind.
Yeah, this is in my mind. This is in my mind. I'm like, okay, this is the way I'm going.
The angle we're going to have to go.
Well, the chocolate cake comes out. It was the fucking worst chocolate cake I've ever had in my entire life. It was, what the fuck was that? I went, this is a joke. Like, it was like the universe was like, nah, not the right time. You're not doing it here. And I was like, all right. So then we go on the tour and I'm like, let's just hope the tour is good. So we get on the bus. Hello, everyone. The bus heater is broken. So we're in an ice box for 60 minutes, and the second one was a bit different. So the first one, they took us out into the forest and everything like that, and out into the lake and all the rest of it. The second night, we were going to a lodge. So we went on the bus to the lodge. The heater's broken, so we're all freezing, and you don't understand the cold. Like, it's fucked. And so we finally get to the lodge. It's like, okay. Oh, by the way, on the way to the lodge, everybody else on the bus was Chinese, and we were the only Australians along with 2 other Australians. And so the host was speaking in Mandarin the entire time, and then and would speak for like 10 minutes in Mandarin and then turn to the Australians and give us like one sentence. And I was like, well, hang on, what else did you say to them? You know what I mean? Like I feel like she was like explaining everything to them and then just saying, we're going to the lodge now. And I was like, what did you tell them for 10 minutes? And so then I'm a little bit perplexed, and I'm like, can you check, have we booked like a Mandarin tour or something? Because they do all different languages. And I was like, have you booked the wrong tour? And anyway, we checked, and no, it was the correct, like it had nothing, it said nothing about that. It did say it was offered in different languages, but it didn't say like it was exclusively a different language. So again, the heater's broken, the tour needs to be translated, the vibes are off, and I'm like, all right, let's just get to the lodge, it'll be nice and cozy, warm. We get to the lodge, they haven't turned the fire on, have they? It's just as cold inside the lodge as outside. So then they turned the fire on. We were there for 4 hours. It did nothing. And then they said on it, because the vibe is you're nice and warm inside, and then you go outside and you have a look and you come back inside. Same with the bus though. The bus the first night was very much like go outside for 10 minutes, get back on the bus for 20 and warm up. And so we're in the lodge. It's freezing cold. Like the steam's coming out of our mouths and everything, and we're in the kitchen. These poor people on the tour, there are about 20 people all up. They've got the stove on and they're putting their hands over the stove flame to warm up. Now on the tour website, it said hot drinks and snacks provided. I'll tell you what, the snacks were, it was one of the metal tins of biscuits that people put the sewing kits in. Yeah. 4 biscuits in there between 20, all crushed up in there. And then the the hot drinks provided. She's making it, the tour host is making it in the kitchen, and I go over and I said, I'll have 2, please. And she says, yep, no worries. And she hands me 2 paper cups full of boiling water. Now, obviously at this point, I'm going, what the fuck kind of Twilight Zone am I in? But I have since researched, and boiling water in Chinese culture is, very standard.
Warm water.
They drink warm water. They it's got health benefits and all the rest of that. But obviously it's just a culture difference. And me as an Australian, I'm going, why the fuck have I been handed a cup of boiling water? Like, it was so bizarre to me. But I've since learned that, there were 18 other Chinese people on the tour, so it makes sense that we all got boiling water. But me, in the moment, I went, what the fuck am I doing with this, sweetheart? Where's the hot chocky? It was just so bizarre. So then we go over and we're talking to the other Australians, and anyway, then it starts getting a bit MAGA. Like, he starts getting a little bit, he starts saying some things, some inappropriate things just about, a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, I can't do this. So and he's like coughing and spluttering and things like that. And he's like, I've been sick and whatever. And I'm just like, oh my God, let me just remove myself. So we go outside, and Sky, being the lovely person he is, just...
Oh, he would see the best in everything.
Yeah, I know. He just has a conversation. Whereas if someone like that has a conversation with me, I'm like, I don't have time to converse with you. See you later. Whereas Sky's like, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Like, he'll just like gild the lily and be like, okay, because he's just that lovely type of person. Anyway, the lights this night were fantastic. I'm like, okay, we'll go and have a private moment with the photographer and all the rest of it. Like, this could still happen. I'm still on the same route of like, everything's a bit fucking shit. But
that's good that they take a professional photographer on the tours. Is it because like people can't get the good content themselves, kind of thing?
I think so, but also your phones freeze.
Yeah.
Because, here in Australia it overheats. Your phones get too cold. So you know how we get a temperature warning saying your phone needs to cool down?
Yeah.
I was getting temperature warning saying your phone needs to warm up.
That's crazy.
And so we go outside. I'm like, okay, this could be it. Here we go. The vibes are good. And then right at that moment is when like 12 people decided to come outside and take photos. And so I was like, then we were surrounded by people, and I was like, okay, the vibe's just not on. That's fine. So the third night, we don't have a tour booked. And we, I I feel like there was something else really crazy that happened that night as well, that I was like, the vibes are just so, we're in there and obviously like, it's just wild. There's like moose heads on the wall and like, it wasn't a cute, like I heard lodge and I was like, cute vibes, not cute at all. It was like so crazy. Anyway, the third night we have no tour booked. We were going to go at our own leisure, but it was really cloudy night. And so we just went for a simple dinner, and then on the way home I was like, let's just walk down here, and we saw this really cute area and I was like, okay, this would be like a perfect place to do it. And then the vibes it was just not happening. And I was like, okay, I'm giving up on this, whatever. And so then I was like, okay, we've now got a week with his family and there's lots of downtime because the only reason we were going to Calgary and Winnipeg was to see family. So we were seeing family and then we had like nothing to do. There was nothing on the agenda. Whereas when we were in Vancouver, we were like, let's go see this side and go to that place and this place. So I was like, we'll have lots of downtime, lots of time to do it. Well, the man on the tour who was coughing made Sky sick. So Sky's then sick for about 7 days with the cough that the man gave him because he decided to talk, whereas I removed myself and went outside. And I said, this is what you get for being too nice. You were too nice to him and look what's happened. This is what, you got to be an arsehole to people like me. So anyway, then he was sick for 7 days, 4 days, and then was still recovering afterwards. So the vibes were off again. So we get to Niagara Falls. And as I said, bucket list. The two things left on my bucket list were the Northern Lights and seeing Niagara Falls.
Why do I think Niagara Falls is in America?
It's on the border. So it's like,
again.
Yeah. So if you're in Canada, you can see it.
That's fucking crazy.
Because it's like, yeah. So it's like,
there you go.
But America's like right there. Like I'm looking at New York from Canada.
That's
like
crazy.
The state,
yeah,
not the city. But there's just a bridge and people just walk across the bridge into America. People live in America and work at Niagara Falls and vice versa. They work over in Buffalo and live in Canada. Do they have to show
their passport?
No, you can apply for this thing called Nexus, which is basically like you just flash a card and in you go and out you go and they don't really
God,
ask
imagine
questions.
working in a different country, but you just dive over the bridge to get there.
Hello, one of my friends is dating someone across the border and their relationship
is in different countries. That is so cool.
How crazy is that? So anyway, we get to Niagara Falls and the first night is quite nice. And I'm like, okay, I was Googling on the way on the bus. And I was like, okay, let me find a nice place to do it. And I found this place and obviously all the pictures are from summer. So I found this lovely little park to do it in. And then on the way home from dinner, I'm like, let's just walk down here because I wanted to suss it out and do a recce before the next day. And so we went there, covered in snow, closed, fenced off, can't get in there. I went, this is a joke. Like, what? At this point, I'm proposing in a 7-Eleven because what the fuck is going on? I don't know what to do. And then Sky goes, oh, well. Like Sky never breaks a rule, never does anything bad in his life, goes, oh, well, we'll just walk around the fence, just jump over it. And I was like, who is this? Let's go then. So we just like went up past the barricaded area and went in and had a look. And I was sussing out some vibes and I picked 3 places. And then I said, you know what, babe, I think in the morning we get up and do sunrise, then we do sunset and we see it throughout the day. And then I've seen it at every point. And, you know, because it was nighttime at this point, because we got in late. Oh, that's right. So I planned to the next day have a spa day. So I wanted to plan a day around it. And he was like, oh, we should book in to do this tour and that tour and this. I'll talk in Friday's Close Friends more about Niagara Falls. But basically there was like no one there because everything's shut, everything's snowed in, all the rest of it. So some of the experiences we wanted to do, like we were trying to do a boat tour on the water and we're like, why are there none available? It's frozen. So there were silly things like that. So he was like, oh, should we do this experience, that experience? And I was like, oh, we'll just take it as it, we'll just take it as it comes and we'll see. And so I planned to book us in for a spa day all day to celebrate after asking him in the morning.
Yeah.
But like little things kept happening. Like, for example, we caught the bus from Toronto Airport to Niagara Falls and it was like late, delayed. Then we dropped off everyone else before we got to our hotel. So we arrived at our hotel at 7:01. Spa closes at 7 and you can only book in at the spa. You couldn't book in at the front desk. So little things like that. And I was like, okay, this is like the biggest disaster ever. So then the next morning we wake up, it's for the sunrise and I'm obviously like, yes, let's go. And he's like, ugh. But he gets out of bed and he's like, should we take the tripod? Me knowing full well we should take the tripod to film the bloody thing and take photos. And I'm going, oh, I don't know, babe. I don't know if I can be bothered doing photos. I don't. Oh, yeah, I guess we better take the tripod.
Do you reckon he knew at that moment?
No.
Oh.
Because we were taking the tripod the whole time, like to everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was a very regular thing to ask that question, normal thing to ask that question. And so we get down there and I look around, not a soul in sight. And I found this nice little, we went to the 2 other places. One was a little bridge, not the vibe. One was a little alcove, not the vibe due to lighting. Then I saw this little place with, like, you would have seen the photo now on Instagram of like the trees with the benches and all the rest of it. And this is behind the fence as well, so you can't walk there. But we walked there anyway, and no one's around. Like there was like in the whole time we were there was like one person jogged by. And so I do a quick look around. Absolutely no one's there. And
were you nervous?
Yeah, really nervous, but also by this point I was just fucking over it. Like I was like, well, I just got to get this done.
Over with. Come on,
I've got to get it done or it'll never happen, you know. So I've set up the tripod. Yeah, let's take some photos. We got some nice photos. We haven't got any photos yet on the trip because when you travel together, like you just take a photo of each other. You don't really get much together unless someone offers or you ask someone, but we don't really mind about that anyway. So we were like, oh, it'd be nice to get some photos. So anyway, where I've got the little Bluetooth thing on the tripod, so I've got it in my hand and I'm pretending to take photos, but I'm actually videoing and taking photos at the same time. And so then I said, anyway, we're standing there taking a few photos and I was like, oh, this is so exciting. Like I've ticked everything off my bucket list now. Like we did the Northern Lights and Niagara Falls, so that means everything's ticked off my bucket list. And he was like, yeah, well, you should think about like, what else do you want to do? And I'd mentioned a few weeks ago about I learned that there's a Zootopia land at Shanghai Disney, and I was like, oh, I need to go there. And he was like, well, you know, you need to start writing a new bucket list. Like, what about Shanghai Disneyland, Zootopia? Is that on your bucket list? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I will have to start, you know, writing a new bucket list. Like, what could be on the bucket list? Yeah, I guess Shanghai Disney and maybe like all the Disneylands, and, you know, maybe we could get married. And then I just pulled it out. And he was like so shocked. He was so shocked. I was like, whoa. And then I got on one knee in fucking snow and said, will you marry me? And he was like, what the fuck?
Matt, I haven't seen the video yet, but like how was getting down on one knee?
It was fine, but I do hate it. Like I've watched the video back and I go, that's given me the ick.
You know the one that Shane Dawson did where he's like basically laying down.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Yeah. I'm like, I should have brought my knee that was up forward more. But that's fine.
Okay.
It is what it is.
It's
whatever.
not Shane Dawson.
Yeah. And so then it's not bad. But also we're all rugged up in all our jackets and everything like that as well. So it was kind of good because you didn't have to worry about how you looked, because you look stupid anyway because you're in a million layers and a scarf and a beanie, and I look like a boo bar, you know, one of those big boo bars, the kids' TV show. Like that's what I look like.
Show.
That's what I look like in all those bloody things. So, yeah, then I asked and then he said yes, obviously. And then we spent a lot of time like there just enjoying the moment. Again, no one around anywhere. And
that's good.
It's like 7 o'clock in the morning because we're watching the sunrise over Niagara Falls. And so then he's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And so I said, well, it's your day. Like, what do you want to do? I mean, I said, I have planned to book us into the spa, but I haven't been able to do it yet because, you know, and I also at this point explained all the things that went wrong and all the plans that I had. And I was like, I haven't booked into the spa, but hopefully we can get in today because let's just have a spa day and enjoy ourselves. And I was like, but, you know, we can go anywhere for breakfast and you choose anywhere for breakfast and we will go absolutely anywhere you want to go. And he went, I really want to go to Denny's.
Is that like a cheap place?
Denny's like a cheap diner, like, you know. And I was like, okay. So we got engaged and the first thing we did was go to Denny's, which is very on brand for us. And we had a lovely breakfast. And then we went back to the hotel, booked in for a spa day. So we, at this point, again, because we'd got in at night time and now only seen the sunrise, we then went for a walk up to the falls to look at it properly and then back down to the hotel to have a spa day. So we had this hydrotherapy couples bath together overlooking Niagara Falls. You'll see the photos on Instagram. Absolutely beautiful. a hot stone massage, which is our favourite massage to get. Love a hot stone massage, couples massage. And then we got our nails done because I was like, well, you need a manicure. And I also, from the nerves, had picked off all my builder in a bottle off my nails from the 3 weeks that I'd been, not only just the stress of travelling, but also the stress of trying to bloody propose. I was stressed and my nails looked like shit. So I was like, I'll get mine done as well and you get yours done. And so he got a little manicure. And then after that, we went for a really nice dinner at this restaurant called Prime Steakhouse. And oh my God, I had the best pork belly I've ever had in my entire life.
Yum.
And I had the best chicken pasta carbonara and steak. And they were like, oh, are you celebrating anything? And I was like, yes, we got engaged this morning. So then they've brought out like this gorgeous sticky, they don't call it a sticky date pudding there. Sticky toffee pudding is what they call it in Canada and America, I believe. Sticky toffee pudding, congratulations on the engagement, blah, blah, blah. And then, I just felt it was so nice because when we left, the guy who was awesome with us all night, like our waiter, he was awesome with us all night. But when we left, thank you so much. I said, that was the best pork belly. I said, I don't want to brag, but I've had a lot of pork belly in my life. And that was the best pork belly I've ever had. He was like, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And it was just, the perfect celebration dinner for you. And then he goes, and good luck with the wedding. And I went, oh, fuck, we have to do a wedding now. I forgot that was the whole point. He literally goes, good luck with the wedding. And I went, oh, shit. I forgot. That is what naturally comes after an engagement. And I'm like,
shit.
Hang on a second. I forgot that we now have to plan a wedding. But anyway, yeah, it was perfect. And then we went home, went to sleep, and then we went to Toronto the next day. And yeah, I'll tell you more about Canada itself in Friday's Close Friends because a lot of people have a lot of questions. But that is the engagement story.
Yay, insert clapping. I'll tell you what I love as well. At the start of this episode, you were like, I don't even know what to say. And then I'm like, let me interview you. And you go, okay, but first. And then you just spoke for about 35 minutes straight. I've been sitting here waiting to ask you questions.
Do you have any more or did I answer them all?
No, I'll tell you one thing that I want to know. Obviously you've proposed to Sky. Was that always in your mind from when you were young? Did you always want to be the one to propose?
Yeah. Since before dating Sky.
Yep.
Always. And then it just so happened that he was like, I'm not doing it. I want the ring.
That's because I can so see you being the one to propose, but I can also see you being the one to have a ring and everything.
I know, and I want one.
You should just get one anyway.
Yeah, I think I might.
You should.
Even just a cheapie till the wedding,
Yeah. Get one off Wish.
Get a Temu ring.
Is Wish still a thing?
I don't know. I think Temu's taken over Wish these days.
Oh my God, remember Wish?
I know.
Wow. Well, so happy for you guys.
Thank you. Do you have no other questions?
I feel like every question that I was going to ask you've covered.
So. And so, sorry, what was your question, Google Girl? You did have a question.
Did he know?
Did he think it was going to happen in Canada?
He had suspicions, but I think that a lot of people gave up on the idea because a lot of people thought it was going to happen in Europe.
Yeah.
And in fact, the Nova team were placing bets on what country it was going to happen in Europe. And his friends messaged me and were like, make sure you're packed. You've got your underwear, you've got your clothes, you've got the ring. And I was like, honey, at that point I hadn't even thought about how to buy a ring.
Something funny. Matt said earlier, before we started recording, the whole trip he kept going, I would like a ring, and then going, fuck, why am I singing that song out loud?
That bloody song the whole time. I would like a ring. So every time I think about the ring, that song would get stuck in my head. But yeah, he kind of had an inkling, kind of didn't. But I think that not doing it at Northern Lights may have thrown him off. I think
that's good.
By that point, he'd be like, okay, it's not happening.
Yeah, I think it's good for it to still have an element of surprise because I feel like traditionally back in our parents' and grandparents' day, maybe an engagement was just a straight up surprise. I don't know. But I feel like now it's more common that, you'll go shop for the ring together and kind of know or expect it. So I think it's kind of good that your original plan didn't work out and then you kind of surprised him still.
Yeah. I think back in the day as well, it may have been less of a surprise because I was speaking to one of my friends because I told a lot of people that this was going to happen. So I was speaking to one of my friends and she was like, oh, you know, when we got engaged back in whenever it was, back then when you got dressed up and went out for dinner.
Yeah, and you wear like a white dress.
Yeah, we went to Centrepoint Tower, revolving restaurant. She's like, you know, everyone knew that was the night that it was going to be asked. So, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, everything I think it's just such a testament to, like, our relationship that, like, everything can go wrong, but, like, it still works out in the end. That is, like, that's us. Everything around us goes wrong a lot of the time, but we're really solid. So it's like, it's a perfect kind of metaphor for our relationship. So, yeah. Couldn't be happier with how then. And the thing was, I remember that day, the spa day, the day I proposed, that was the first perfect day we'd had since like basically before the Northern Lights. So back in Whistler was like when we had the last like kind of perfect day where nothing went wrong because the Northern Lights were a fucking mess. And then he was sick for a week. And then it was basically like this, then it was a travel day. Then he was well enough for me to do it. And that day from start to finish, from sunrise to the time we went to bed was literally just perfect. So
love it.
Lovely.
We'll bring on the wedding planning.
Yeah. Just another thing you'll add to your list of jobs to do, plan my wedding.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
Am I hired?
Yeah, cash grabber. I thought you would want to have your dirty little mitts all over that. Event planner.
Let's capitalise on it.
You'll be the content girl. That's the business you want to do.
Yeah, well, how can we make money out of it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What?
But everything will be fucking sponsored.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, doll. I'm not kidding.
Let's do it.
Everything at my wedding will be gifted, sponsored, hashtag ad. I'm selling the story to Vogue. I'm getting a body and soul article out. Put me in the Woman's Day, doll. I don't care what I got to do. Everything at my wedding will be sponsored and free. I'm not spending that money. You'd do it too if you were able to. I'm sorry. Any brands listening right now, I want an engagement gift. I want stuff for the wedding.
Yep. Full outfits, everything.
Yeah.
Location, photographer, videographer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, happy to pay the photographer and things like that.
But just stuff.
Like, and not small businesses. Like, I'd pay small businesses for my wedding, but like KFC, shout everyone a fucking potato and gravy as their entree or something. You know what I mean?
We're going after the big corporations.
Yeah. They got money to burn. I'm willing to take it.
Fair. Well, this has been a very non-traditional episode of High Scrollers, but I feel like when it's a big life moment, we can bend the rules. We bend the rules on here every week anyway.
Exactly.
But a big congrats to you and Sky.
Thanks.
Very exciting. I know Sky will be listening.
Yeah. As he does every week.
Yeah.
He shares the podcast episode to his story every week.
Our number one scroller is Sky.
Literally though.
Well,
are we not even going to do a royal flush or anything? Sorry.
The royal flush is you getting engaged.
Sorry. That's all right. I'm happy to wrap it up. Anyway, Dale, better let you go. Got to go and buy myself a ring now.